you guys get a 1 crore package at your job, would you dare enough to leave that job to build your own startup? Well, someone actually took that risk. Someone actually skipped a 1 crore offer at her job and later on built a startup which is now valued at 3,000 crores. Yes, I am talking about our dearest shark Vineeta Singh, who actually founded and built Sugar Cosmetics into a 3,000 crore business empire which is now loved by millions of Indians. But the question is how? How exactly did Vineeta Singh, someone who was not from the beauty industry, enter this entire industry, captured this entire industry when this entire beauty industry was completely saturated and filled with multiple brands with billions and millions of dollars of funding? How exactly did Vineeta Singh build this entire empire of Sugar Cosmetics in such a competitive industry of beauty and cosmetics in India? Well, in this business case study, we are going to learn exactly about what I discussed, that how exactly did Vineeta Singh, with no prior knowledge about this beauty and cosmetics industry of India, build a 3,000 crore brand in less than 5 years. This business case study has some very powerful lessons regarding the ideation of the startup, regarding how do you exactly identify the target market, how do you position your brand, and some very great insights on the execution part as well. Please watch this video till the end because it has some very powerful lessons that you guys can implement in your own businesses. Vineeta Singh comes from a small town in Gujarat, and after completing her engineering from IIT and her masters from IIM, she later got an offer from one of the top investment bankers of India, which was worth 1 crore rupees, which she actually refused. The idea was that she actually wanted to build something for herself. She actually wanted to pursue her dream of building her own startup, and at that point of time, Sugar Cosmetics was not actually the idea. The idea was to enter into the field of laundry, to enter into the e-commerce segment by selling laundry to the Indian consumers. When Vineeta Singh actually started working on her idea of building this huge laundry brand and started getting in touch with multiple investors to raise funding for her startup, all the investors collectively refused to give her any sort of capital, and the insight was because she does not belong to this industry altogether and she does not have any sort of knowledge or experience of this industry, investors are not willing to take a bet on her, not willing to risk their precious funds on her, and that is why Sugar Cosmetics founder Vineeta Singh got rejected by all the investors for her business idea of building a laundry brand in India. Vineeta finally decided that instead of going after investors to raise capital for her startup, she would actually bootstrap her startup herself. Now, for those of you who do not know, bootstrapping means when you use your own funds, when you use your own capital to build your own business. And that is exactly what Vineeta Singh thought after getting rejected from all the investors collectively. At that point of time, Vineeta actually dropped the idea of building this huge laundry brand and instead switched to a second idea of building a service-based company wherein she would approach these multinational companies, these large corporate houses which have thousands and lakhs of employees. These companies actually require detailed screening and reference and background check of each and every of their employee, and Vineeta Singh's company would provide exactly the same to these multinational companies. Now, with this idea of hers, there were three major problems. Number one, because it was a service-based company and not a product-based company, the company faced scalability issues. Number two, because the total addressable market, or what we call as TAM of the company, was short, the company faced revenue and business issues. And number three, the most important one, Vineeta actually realized that she had no passion to solve this problem which she was actually building at that point of time. She had zero interest and got zero kick out of solving that business problem which she realized after building her startup in the initial phases. This is when, ladies and gentlemen, Vineeta Singh realized that it was time to drop this idea as well and look out for some other business opportunity, look out for some other business idea which could be solved by her. And by that time, she was left with her last 30 lakh rupees because she was not working at a regular job. One fine day, when she was going through the data and the stats of the entire beauty and cosmetics market of India, she realized some very weird but some very powerful insight. She realized that the entire beauty and cosmetics market of India is divided into two categories. Number one, the price range below rupees 300, wherein players like Lakme operate, and number two, the price range above rupees 1000, wherein premium brands like MAC operate. But the price range between rupees 300 to rupees 1000 is actually a mid-segment price range wherein no major players are operating in the Indian cosmetics market. And this is exactly when the idea of Sugar Cosmetics was born, wherein Vineeta Singh planned on building a mid-segment, mid-price range brand for the Indian consumers in the beauty and cosmetics industry of India. So with the right pricing strategy and a couple of products, out of which one of them was a lipstick, Vineeta Singh finally launched Sugar Cosmetics in the market. But here is the catch. In the first year of business, Sugar Cosmetics actually failed miserably, wherein the brand was able to sell only around 100 lipsticks in one complete year of operations. The thing is, at that point of time, the entire beauty market of India was completely saturated and filled with thousands of brands, and Sugar Cosmetics actually had no perfect product market fit and had no differentiator at all. That is when Vineeta Singh actually realized that she would have to understand the Indian market to a much more extent in order to make Sugar Cosmetics a successful brand. And that is where, ladies and gentlemen, Vineeta Singh came out with 4 major insights. Number 1, Vineeta noticed that all the existing brands that existed in the Indian market were although serving the Indian customers, yet the products that these brands were serving to the Indian customers were made out of international standards, were based on international standards, were based on international skin tones and not of the Indian skin tones. The skin tone and nature of skin of Indian consumers is very different from rest of the world, yet all the beauty brands at that point of time in the Indian market were actually building products, were actually serving products to the Indian consumers, which were of international quality standards, which were actually meant for foreign consumers and not for Indian consumers. And that is when, ladies and gentlemen, Vineeta Singh actually got an insight to make those products, to build those products which were actually meant for consumption based on Indian skin tones. The second insight that Vineeta realized at that point of time was the fact that all the beauty brands in the Indian market were collectively focusing on those consumers which were already experienced with using beauty products. That means consumers above the age of 25 who also had good purchasing power. But the new consumers which were there in the beauty industry, that means girls between the age of 15 to 25, no brand was focusing on this niche segment. This is when Vineeta Singh actually decided that she would position herself, she would position her brand Sugar Cosmetics as a brand for the young women, as a brand for the young India who were actually entering this beauty industry for the first time. Now the third insight was the fact that in order to build her brand for the youth, in order to attract young consumers, she would have to make her brand appealing to the young crowd, and that is why she actually started going very heavy on content marketing, on social media platforms, on creating content on social media platforms in order to attract the young consumers of India. Now the fourth insight was actually a very powerful one, which was regarding changing the mindset and the ideology of Indian consumers towards cosmetics and makeup. You see, makeup is often considered as an item, as a commodity which you actually wear, which you actually carry when you are going out or when you are dressing up. However, Sugar Cosmetics promoted their brand and promoted cosmetics based on a simple idea that makeup should not only be worn only when you are going out or getting ready. It should be a part of your basic lifestyle. It should be a part of your daily lifestyle just to feel happy and confident. These 4 major insights by Vineeta Singh actually transformed the entire existence of Sugar Cosmetics in India, and today, post 5 years, the brand is actually valued at over 3,000 crores and the company also has offline presence in over 3,000 stores pan India. If you guys like the business case study of Sugar Cosmetics, please hit the like button. Please comment down below your analysis and your insights about the same. Also, if you found the content useful and value driven, please hit the bell icon, please hit the subscribe button to get regular notifications of all of our business case studies. This was Shaurya Kaushik signing off from today's video. I'll see you guys in another case study very soon. Till then, stay tuned.